So the first step was really to get right back to basics and get to grips with what we've got today. Unbelievably, not when you consider our legacy, but for a company the size of Virgin Media and the brand image that we have, we didn't know what skills we had. We could have asked line managers to create job descriptions. It always makes me slightly uncomfortable when HR people like me ask managers to create job descriptions. I mean, let's be honest, if I'm asked to write a job description, I think I might over-egg it slightly. And also, if I share it with my colleagues, I think the chances are that they'll probably disagree with some of it, if not all of it. And therefore, the potential of thousands of different job descriptions from different managers really didn't fill me with optimism. So we decided to use the skills framework for the information age, or SFIAplus. We wanted to get to grips with what we have in a way that didn't require hundreds of managers to create those job descriptions. And I chose SFIAplus and a collaboration with the BCS. And I did this because I wanted our job descriptions to be crystal clear and aligned to the standardized skills framework, but also because the Skills Plus framework added value where we needed it the most. This wasn't just about defining the requirements of the role, the job description itself. It was also suggesting learning and development interventions for us too. So training activities, the personal development plans, professional development activities, qualifications and the like. And using SFIAplus in this way has given us the ability to look at the additional dimensions of personal contribution and professional development. Most significantly of all, it has supported the mindset shift, and I have to practice saying that quite a lot, towards ownership by the employee of their career. So having absolute clarity about the requirements of the whole role, the purpose, the skills the person will need, the knowledge that will be required, the level at which it's operating or is delegated to, the behaviours that can either support or undermine achievement in that role. All of this information was important to defining our performance standard. Every one of us needs this clarity about our own performance to be able to be honest about our performance and our potential. The goalposts are painted white for a reason. We need to see them clearly, and if we're moving them, as is inevitable in our industry, it's even more important that we make this really visible. So having all this great data about the skills that we have today in our business is all well and good, but I think I'm possibly the only person in Virgin Media who gets this excited about the potential that it affords us. To turn this into useful information and to bring the potential to life, we are doing two key things. So we're taking our job family structure or pathfinder to the next level by creating visibility of typical vertical pathways that exist today. And that's to allow people to see what the potential might be for developer A, who's called data scientist, and developer B, who's called God, to see where their roles fit together. God from Croydon Cable is doing exactly the same job as the data scientist from Portsmouth, but they never knew that. So we need to get ready. Sorry, the second thing, I've skipped ahead. The second thing that we're doing is the collaboration with BCS is using Role Model, which is a system that allows people to interrogate the details of their own role in the system. So having mapped everything that people do day in, day out to a very clear job description, this information is in the Role Model system. An individual can go into that system, they can check and assess their own performance against each of those performance criteria. They can ask others to do the same, so they can do it 360 if they wish. And as a result of that, they'll get development recommendations of what skills they may need to close the gap or to be ready for the next level, for the next stage of their career. Okay. Now my slide. So we're going to be continuing to get ready. We've still got a long, long journey ahead of us. It's a long game, but we'll continue to work on SFIAplus. But we've already seen some green shoots that we hadn't expected or that we hadn't specifically planned for. The fact that we had immediately identified the fact that we had duplication across departments, we used the SFIAplus codings to map what we had within our organisation. And it immediately became evident that we had people doing exactly the same jobs, but in different departments, which was obviously leading to a huge amount of duplication. And it just wasn't evident to us before. So last year, when we reorganised, we moved 14 teams in our technology function to put similar roles together and to create the efficiencies that are making us quicker and slicker. And although we're not growing headcount, we're not reducing it either, but we are getting smarter internally as a result. So career paths at Virgin Media was first and foremost about valuing our people and demonstrating to them why Virgin Media is a place that they want to work. And SFIAplus provided the specific criteria that allows an employee and their manager to consistently judge performance and potential so that career conversations have a common language. The reason that I've returned to the slide of Sir Richard Branson is that the canny old fox is actually right. In our attempts to look after our people, we help the business in ways that we hadn't expected. So our organisation design is better as a result, and our resource planning is, although in its infancy, is also improving. So when you're asking yourselves if your business has the skills it needs, also be sure to check whether you're valuing the people, not just the skills that they have. And ask if you're treating them the way that you would like them to treat your customers. Okay. Thank you for listening.